Well, it's law that relatively few Mainers knew even existed. That is until Robert Card, who had exhibited signs of mental illness, shot and killed 18 people and wounded 13 others in Lewiston 3 weeks ago. Good evening, everyone. I'm Amanda Hill.
And I'm Brian Yukono. We are talking about Maine's yellow flag law. It is meant to separate someone from their weapons if police, a judge, and a mental health professional all say it's necessary.
Why it wasn't used in Card's case will be the subject of an upcoming investigation. But we learned this week that there has been a definite spike in yellow flag confiscations since that shooting.
News on Maine's Ann Baldridge today spoke with a mental health professional about the recent surge. She joins us live. Hi, Ann.
Brian, Amanda, not only have we seen that big increase in the number of yellow flag cases, but 4 of those people either mentioned Robert Card by name or they told someone they would become the next mass shooter. In the last 39 months before the Lewiston shootings, police departments across Maine used the yellow flag law 81 times to take someone's weapons away. That's an average of 2 confiscations every month. After Lewiston, the law has been used 14 times in just 3 weeks. It requires both a medical professional and a judge to agree that a person poses a potential threat to themselves or others before allowing police to separate that person from their guns or other weapons for a year.
They don't meet criteria for an inpatient hospitalization, and they want to be maintained, and that they can be safely maintained in the community, but they have access to firearms. And really what we know is one of the best prevention methods to proactively prevent suicide is to restrict access to lethal means when someone is experiencing a crisis or in the aftermath of a crisis.
NAMI says it is unsure if police are more open to using the law or if there are more calls coming in for potential suicidal or homicidal individuals since the mass shooting in Lewiston. They say they work with training police officers on how to respond to a call of a person experiencing a mental health crisis.
The Yellow Flag, or the Weapons Restriction Act, is really a multi-system approach where it has law enforcement responding to calls in the community, identifying and supporting that individual, completing a risk assessment and de-escalating the situation, and then collaborating with either medical or mental health providers in order to get that individual the support that they need.
We reached out to Margaret Groban, who sits on the board of the Maine Gun Safety Coalition. She told us she's glad that the yellow flag law is being utilized more often to prevent homicides and suicides. However, she says its deficiencies persist in creating obstacles to easier access to the courts and by placing an unnecessary burden on law enforcement and mental health professionals. Lawmakers will be considering several reforms in the coming weeks with legislative session starting back up in January, including scrapping Maine's yellow flag law for a red flag law, which more than over 20 states already have. Amanda.
And thank you. Meanwhile, if you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, you can contact the Maine Crisis Line at 1-888-568-1112, or you can call 711. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can also dial the Suicide and Crisis Line at 988. Both will connect you to trained specialists.